Independent Democrats have made it very clear that President-elect Donald Trump's cabinet picks will face stiff opposition in the confirmation process, including his most recent selections for EPA head and Labor Secretary. They have been on the receiving end of some pretty harsh attacks by Democratic leaders. Our fair and balanced panel is here to weigh in on the potential roadblocks that these nominees will face. Joining me now, Kevin Sheridan, the former communications director for vice presidential nominee Paul Ryan, and Garland Nixon, a Democratic radio talk show host. Thank you so much for being here, both of you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Let's kick off talking about some of the things that high-ranking Democrats have been saying. For instance, a few tweets here. This one from Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren. Appointing Andrew Puzder to run the agency responsible for protecting workers is a slap in the face for every hard-working American family. And this from Senator Tim Kaine. The nomination of an EPA administrator who does not accept basic climate science is deeply troubling. They, of course, are talking about the Oklahoma Attorney General Scott Pruitt for the EPA and Andy Puzder of fast food fame for Labor Secretary. When you talk about what Democrats are saying about these particular cabinet picks, are they being too harsh? Should they lighten up this early in the process as things go forward, Kevin?
Well, Democrats are going to have to pick who they're going to really target here, and I would guess that's probably EPA, since climate change is the closest thing liberal Democrats have to religion right now. So I think that's probably where they're going to focus most on. But look, as a Republican, I think we were all waiting to see what Donald Trump was going to do with these picks, and it's been like Christmas morning every day with one of these picks, because it's an outstanding list so far of people who are going to challenge orthodoxies, they're going to challenge assumptions, they're going to go in there. And they've got records of really thoughtful leadership on the subject matter that they're taking over now. Price at HHS, Pruitt at EPA, Mattis at Defense, restoring leadership in the world. So, look, this Republican's very happy with what's going on right now, and I think Democrats are going to have a hard time holding any of these nominees up.
Garland, what do you think? Republicans somewhat gleeful here if you take into account what Kevin was just saying. Do you think that President-elect Trump's picks have been intentionally adversarial, as some Democrats have thought?
No, I don't think so, but I do think they have been at odds with his rather populist rhetoric during the election. The question is going to be, number one, how Democrats are going to view this, but also how a lot of people who may have been Democrats who voted for Trump, who may have been not as conservative and more populist, are going to view that. There are a lot of people that are upset with the Goldman Sachs pick and the somewhat reactionary positions of some of the picks. I do think that one of the things the insiders are talking about in the Democratic Party is how this reflects who holds sway between, say, the kind of nationalist, reactionary Steve Bannon and the more traditional institutionalist and Reince Priebus, how we can see the future shaping up as to who actually is going to have Donald Trump's ear regarding policy.
Yeah, it's interesting to bring that up, Garland. Kevin, I want to bring in you and get your take on this. These picks, do they signal that there's a change in the actual way the agencies will conduct their business? Yeah,
I really think there is. All of these people have long records of challenging the actual agencies that they're going to be now leading. And I think Betsy DeVos going into education, and Pruitt at EPA, and even Mattis at Defense, where he was pushed out under Obama. I think each of these men and women are going to challenge their bureaucracies. They're going to challenge the agencies and the assumptions that the liberal Democrats have been cramming down on industry and on the American people for 8 years under Barack Obama. And I think it's a new day in Washington. It's very exciting for Republicans right now.
And Garland, as things go forward, is it possible that Democrats could be seen as obstructionist or being too adversarial as the process goes forward, given that elections do have consequences, and these are part of the consequences? It's setting forward, making your cabinet picks, and moving on to the next government.
Well, interestingly, one of my callers on my talk show, one of the current themes are going to be: are the Democrats going to be obstructionist enough? A lot of Democrats feel that the Republicans were obstructionist during the Obama administration for 8 years, and I keep hearing, are the Democrats going to have the guts to do the same thing that they did and stand up for us? So the Democratic Party is let's be honest, is in somewhat of a shambles after the election, and so the Democratic leaders are going to have to figure out what they need to do to rebuild their own house and how they have to hold their own house together in addressing these particular picks.
Yeah, Garland Nixon, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Kevin Sheridan, we appreciate it. We will be talking a little later on in the show about what is next for the Democrats as well. Thank you both.
Thank you.